Hello, my name is Rudolph Okonkwo. Welcome. All right. All over the world, protests and debates are raging over the war in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas. Caught in the middle are innocent civilians on both sides of the divide. It has torn apart friends, families, and colleagues. On Fox News Channel, two former Harvard professors, Cornel West and Alan Dershowitz, went at each other. Both professors agree that the killing of innocent civilians is reprehensible. Why it is happening and what we should do about it are two places where they disagree. Watch and see if you can spot their biases. Let's start with Cornel West.
Anybody who kills innocent people are engaging in barbaric acts.
You said
no matter
Israel,
who they
hang
are,
on,
what color, what nation, and so forth.
Israel and the United States are primarily
And the United States has supported and enabled.
You explain to this audience. I want you to explain how is Israel and the United States responsible for beheading 40 children? How?
I'm talking about the context. 545 Palestinian children died in August 2004. Not one American said a word. I believe a Palestinian baby has the same value as an Israeli baby. So when you have that kind of vicious hatred and revenge, you get response of hatred and revenge. They are all wrong. They're all war crimes. They're all to be condemned. But you cannot simply look at this particular moment without the larger backdrop of an ugly occupation and the ugly attacks chronically against Palestinians.
Those are not your words.
All right. Let's listen to Alan make his own points.
Hamas is the ones responsible for the killing of Palestinian children. Also, Hamas has a term. It's called the CNN strategy. And the CNN strategy is induce Israel into killing Palestinian children by using them as human shields. Then parade the bodies out on CNN, and you'll see what happens. People like Cornel West will engage in crocodile tears, blame it on Israel when the entire blame is on the Palestinians, Hamas, for using their children as human shields, and then using their children as shields to permit the killing of Israelis.
All right. So these are the two positions. And West argues that essentially Israel is accusing Hamas of doing what they, the Israelis, have done multiple times, be it on a smaller scale. But Alan argues that if Israel ever killed a child or a civilian, it must be because Hamas was using them as human shields. Let's follow the debate a little bit more.
I have the same outrage when Palestinian babies are killed, when Jewish babies or Israeli babies. I want you to have the same indignation when Palestinians are killed.
Not when they're killed. Not when they're killed by Palestinians. You can't make a moral comparison. When Nazi kids were killed in the bombings of Dresden, I didn't have the same comparison when Jewish kids were put in gas chambers and crematoriums. You're a professor of theology. Don't you understand the moral difference between deliberately murdering a kid and having collateral damage because there are human shields? You're running for president of the United States.
Now, they went
I have the same
out and on they went on and on without any change in the narrative.
That's what I would do. First, truth and morality tend to be two casualties in any context of war. I would want to tell the American people the truth. I would tell them what the context is, how we found ourselves in this situation. I would not jump for a military invasion and a genocidal attack on a
genocidal attack
on Gaza.
No, it's not a genocidal
where are they supposed to go?
When you're
where are
killing
they supposed to
terrorists.
go? This is like Warsaw, 1943. Where do they go?
Where do they go?
Yes.
Where do they go? Now, this is coming up as a result of Israel's order that 1.1 million citizens of Gaza should leave that territory in 24 hours and move from the northern part to the southern part. The Red Cross says that it is unreasonable and impossible for that number of people to move in 24 hours in a war zone with zero provisions for where they will stay. Let's listen more.
Let me tell you where they go to. They go to the UN. UN is keeping
from Gaza to Geneva?
They go to no. The UN has places in Gaza. They go to the Rafah crossing.
11 UN people have been killed in the last few days.
They go to Egypt. They go.
Egypt, how they
wait a
can't
minute.
get out.
Let
Come
me
on,
make
brother.
another thing clear. Gaza City is very dense, but Gaza itself, the Gaza Strip, there's lots of room. The Israelis have said, get out of Gaza City, go to Rafah, go to Khan Yunis, go to other places. And you know what Hamas is saying?
With no water, no food, no electricity.
You know what Hamas is saying? Hamas is saying, don't go.
Oh, I'm not here to defend Hamas.
Well, you are here.
I'm not defending Hamas.
Wait a minute.
Don't you ever lie on me like that, brother. I'm defending the suffering of Palestinians.
I want to hear
how Hamas itself committing war crimes.
I want to hear you.
All right. So there's always in these debates, people make equivalents and try to bring comparison, while the bottom line is that people are dying, real people, and the value attached to the lives of people appears not to be the same. And also think about it this way, that what other country in this world could do something like this, other than maybe United States, Russia, and China? Just go to another country, order people to move in millions, and when you throw in bombs into that country where people live in large numbers in very dense area, what is the goal? Is that the best we can do? Let's watch them more.
Anybody who commits war crimes are barbaric. I'm saying that explicitly, but I want you to say, if the Israeli Defense Forces are killing children, are they barbaric too?
No.
Are they ever barbaric?
No. If they target children.
Yes. Have they ever targeted children?
Absolutely. Never in the history
78 years.
have they ever targeted a child
You got to
deliberately.
get off the crack pipe, man, please.
No, they have never targeted a child.
They killed one innocent person?
Not purposely.
Since 1948?
No, not
Are they
purposely.
that pure? Are they that
You don't have to be very pure not to kill a child. Not to kill a child.
Let me
All right. So the truth is the first casualty in any war. The truth, and it's overtaken by propaganda on both sides. And I think it's important that we remember that when we depend on what we hear, what we see, and make our debate and our arguments based on those things. Let's watch more.
You know I support that. You know I support the two-state solution. But Hamas doesn't support the two-state solution. Hamas opposes
Professor
it.
West, I want to ask this question. Would Gaza be facing annihilation if Hamas did not attack and kill all these innocent Israelis?
All right, let me stop it here. That's a good question. But it's also important to remember that when you are talking about a story, where you start the story is very important. If you start in the middle, the story will be different. The outcome will be different. The perspective will be different. Okay. One popular saying is that when you're looking at what happened in America with the native Indians, if you start the story from where the Indians got fed up because the Americans, the Europeans that came here, were taking their lands and killing them and started to fight back. If you start from that point, then the story will be different. It will be that the native Indians Native Americans attacked the Europeans. But if you start the story from when the Europeans came and they welcomed them and they ended up taking their lands and killing them, the story will be different. So let's listen to the concluding part of that debate.
Gaza has been facing
You're not
a
answering.
chronic
Would they be
process
facing
of
an imminent annihilation?
since 2000.
Would they be
And
facing
2000 and what?
imminent
2000 and
annihilation?
what?
Since 2006 and 7, and Gaza was taken over by Hamas. I'm not
And they
pro-Hamas. I'm pro-democracy, but I'm concerned about the suffering of Palestinians.
Israel didn't fire a single rocket until Hamas fired 5,000 rockets.
Israel controls the
starting
land, the air,
only after
containment,
Hamas
the
took
food
over.
going in, the trade
Only
coming in,
after.
and so. But it was already under occupation
It
since
was never.
1967.
No. The occupation ended 2005. Learn your history.
Oh.
Sharon left. Every American, every Israeli settler, every Israeli soldier left. In 2006, it was like Singapore.
All right. This is the bottom line. 100 years from now, new people will occupy this our world, and they will look at our times, what we did, especially the stories of these days, and they will call us people who lived in the dark ages, when we'll be killing children, women, and all we do is to debate. How do you compare this death to this death? And it's okay with us. And we think we are powerless to change it. Thank you for watching, and join us on the show.